Welcome to the Big Talk. My name is Yaw Boadu-Ayeboafoh, and today we have an exciting edition of the Big Talk. First of all, we have Sadiq Abdullahi Abu, the CEO of 3 Media Network, organizers of the 3 Music Awards, and also have Hilife artists that I have cool. Yeah. Let's move to the Hilife category, which has brought a lot of talk. I think it's one of the most talked about categories in this year's awards. That goes with the bigger picture. Yes. Hilife. What is Hilife? What categorizes a song to be Hilife? So let me go to that question.
So that's what
I came to meet Hilife. I know I've heard Hilife songs.
Yeah.
But there are some people like who don't know what is actual what makes the song Hilife. So what is Hilife?
Okay. So back in the day, from what Professor Collins told or wrote in his book, it started from the Western region. Okay, so there were slave masters who would close from work, and then for the locals would come and entertain them. But at that time, the people didn't know what they were playing, but they were playing something. So it was very authentic, it was original. So the place where the events were happening, it wasn't everybody who was able to go there because they were charging. So the people labeled the place as a place for high lifers.
Okay.
You see, so the people would say, "Oh, I had a high life for." So they gave that name to the thing they were playing at the time.
Okay.
So anytime somebody plays that, they say, "This is high life," because when I ball, so that is how it came about. Now, all the things they were playing, as time were coming past, they were like refining it. When the ET mentions the Butele, so when you had a crowd orchestra band, so they have guitar Hilife, then they have big band Hilife. So guitar Hilife is basically one person playing guitar and singing.
Okay.
Then they have the big band Hilife, those who had all the set of instruments. So that is how it came about. The guitar, most people back in the day, the Hilife they used to play a lot of guitars. So they have 2 lead guitars, they have a bass guitar, then they have horns. So Hilife is basically identified with jazzy horns and melodious guitars, melodious lead guitars. Any song that does not have that can't be Hilife. Any song that does not have that can't be Hilife. Look, I could play you a song from Mexico. I was showing Sadiq. I could play a song from Mexico. That is Hilife. But without that Ghanaian guitar, so you can't call it Hilife. So that Obonino could come here, play that, and you think it's Hilife. So we can only identify Hilife with those jazzy horns and the melodious guitars.
So you just said without the melodious guitars or jazzy horns, it's not Hilife.
Yes, because you see, that is how it started. That is what originated the whole thing into existence. So check all the Hilife songs back in the day. They are matching the day. You understand? Check all those songs. So the other time, Sadiq and Okweku Mantu are having a discussion, and Okweku said something. He said that Kofi B's more brother. It's funky, but the guitar made it Hilife. You understand? That is how it is. He also mentioned Lord Kenya. I think some Lord Kenya song, and then he mentioned George Dakon's Akotilofo. Those times, those people had traveled to Europe, and they knew the white man sound, so they were trying to play the funky for the Hilife, but they will identify it with the guitar. You understand? Without those, it will be difficult to say that this is Hilife. Because look, over the West Coast, everybody is doing Hilife. Sierra Leone, they do it. Nigeria, they do it. Togo, Benin. What would make us know that this is from Ghana? Because the power and the Amponsan rhythm is only played here. You understand?
Okay, so coming to that, now let's move to Sadiq. Sadiq, you've heard an insightful video. What is Hilife and what is not Hilife from that I have go? What is your view?
Again, let's go back to the history, and I'm glad that he mentioned that. Hilife or the music had gone through refinement over the years. So this is the point. I know from the history that he knows about, he's referring to Hilife starting off from the Western region. But from the history, that has been narrated variously from oral history, from some very old and popular people, and even from the same Professor John Collins. It wasn't specific to a particular place. So essentially, what we came to know about high life is our local sounds, as diverse as it is, right, with the influences of the world, was what became known as high life. And he's right when he says that at that particular point in time, our local music that got these influences were being played at places where high-end people were going.
If you talk about influences,
no, so I'm coming. High-end people, I'm coming down to the influence. High-end people were, and that's why they call it high life. But these were the influences. It was very specific on some things. Jazz. That's why he probably mentioned the horns and stuff like that, which are all jazzy. Blues, soul, etc. You understand? So our sounds, traditional sounds, is diverse. The Western region, the sound that became known as a sound from the Western region was what popularly people call the Osode.
okay,
They have a specific sound to the Western region. When you come to Accra, however, they have their different sound, and which is played with certain specific instruments.
yeah,
When you go to the Northern region as well, they've got their sound which is played with certain specific instruments. When you go to the Ashanti region, the same thing. There's a traditional song, and these were all traditional songs. They always have their own traditional song. Aside from Bobo, they have another sound that sounds a different way. The Ashanti region, they have the Apatampa, the Kete, and a whole lot of things. These were traditional sounds. Now, at a point in time, because of the white man came, when these traditional songs were playing, they were known as traditional songs. At the moment they began playing these songs at the places established by the white people, with white people's instruments, it started going through that refination. You understand?
you admit that in all the genres there's a particular sound that is indigenous to the people.
So what people do is so we have our indigenous, and our indigenous already is diverse. Do we have an agreement or alignment that high life, it's our traditional sounds, as diverse as it is from different parts of Ghana, with the influences of the West that became high life? If we have that agreement, now go deeper into these traditional sounds. Some of these traditional sounds will not even have them on rhythm we are talking about. So there's a particular song, the Kitty. Last week when we were playing it, they were playing it with that thing, and then the co, and the guy was singing. He was playing it and then playing it, and that this was only two instruments we were playing and singing. This was our traditional songs. When the influences added, it became what? High life. Now come forward to this. We've already agreed that high life is a particular genre that had influences of the world and continuously succumbed to the influences of the world. So often what happened is this. As every generation, there's a particular popular or on-trend sound globally. And interestingly, across the world, whatever sound it is, it impacts it. As how people refer or choose to want to call the new amalgamation is the people's choice. In our instance, the same way as high life, this same traditional song, when it got impacted with the West, they called it high life. The same high life, which is essentially amalgamation of foreign influences, and different generations had influences. In the 70s, when the James Browns of the world took effect and were popular, the kind of soul music they were doing had an impact on high life. So you listen to sounds of that time, you had an influence. One of the biggest high life names, he has a particular song, CK Man. Listen to that particular song, and there's a man will tell you, or some people that is there's something called it's not a it's called I've forgotten the title. There was a popular sound at the time called the go-go beats. The sound essentially is the but that was high life. It's got Afrobeat. Listen to that particular song. The influences of the time affected it, but the people thinking about it, they didn't have any of the things that he's talking about, started to call it high life. Then within the 80s as well, when the pop came, it impacted it. At a point in time, when the pop of Europe impacted it from Europe, they decided to, at a point in time, call it Burger High Life. Then earlier, when it sounded a bit different, they call it Contemporary High Life. In all of this, what happens is that naturally as a people, we are difficult to accept changes as and when it comes, particularly if it's a bit different from who we think we are. So at a point in time, some people, opinion leaders, decided to put a limitation to it. That was the problem. By saying already, these different sounds that didn't have some of these things, by regarding what was the influences and saying the influences, as diverse as it was coming anyway, should be used as a limitation to decide what is high life. So that was a problem. So they were doing that as a way of protecting what they have come to know and not accepting the new stuff. So some of them decided, okay, so what would you call this thing? Then they called, at a point in time they had what they call reggae high life. So people would record albums without one part they call high life and another part they call reggae high life. But there's one admission, they call it high life anyway. Then they came down to bugger high life. There's one admission, they call it high. There's one constant, high life anyway, regardless of whether you want to call it bugger or not. Admitting the global influences of the time.
There's one thing you admit, yes. Even though you succumb to global influences, there was one key thing that was never lost.
Which is what?
That was the guitar.
No, but as I'm saying that even
from bugger to contemporary, there was always
no. That's the point that I'm saying to you, that go back. The CK Man song that I played to you, he never had that. Go back. I can play Jedi Blamboli. A lot of his songs never had that. Did you ever hear when you were growing up?
Yeah. Something called Ahomensia. Did you ever hear that?
Yes, I've heard that previously.
You see, the guitar, Ahomensia, the lead guitar is what they used to call Ahomensia. Now, when we were growing up, anytime a song comes out, it makes it highlight.
I see that point.
No, I'm coming.
You see that I've cool.
No,
let's have an agreement here. Let me ask you. Is there between myself and you? Is there an agreement that our local sounds, as diverse as it is, plus the influences of the white man's music was what became high life?
Yes.
We have an agreement.
Yes.
That's fine.
So I said
the point I'm saying, listen, what I'm saying is that most of these local songs sound anyway did not have this Ahomensia that you're talking about.
No. That's the influences. That one I won't agree. Look, Sadiq, look. You mentioned
what is a local sound?
I'm coming. You mentioned the CK Man song. Yeah, I could play you the big song.
Whose creation is the guitar?
Well, the Amponsan,
whose creation the guitar as a musical instrument? Is this part of your traditional music instrument?
Listen, but do you know that we have our own version of the guitar?
It's not the guitar that is talking about. No, I'm saying that. That's why I see there's a component of foreign influences on our high life music.
No,
look, okay, let's break it down to our traditional music.
Sadiq,
so which is let's even do a split, a percentage. Let me ask you, in terms of what became high life, what percentage will you put to the traditional music?
Sadiq.
No, I'm asking you what percentage. If you agree, even if you put 30% or 40%, right? In this, for the sake of this particular argument, this is a 50-50. Because there's a 50% of our traditional music with a 50% foreign influences that became high life, right? So we agree. Go back to all these various traditional music. Osode, the proper Osode, the proper different types. Even when you go to Ashanti region itself, they have different sounds covering different areas. Then you come to Ghana, Accra, you also recognize that the Ghans are not, as much as they are all Ghans as a tribe, but they have differences. So the Gamashi people are different from Labadi people. When you move from the Labadi people and go to Teshilingwa, the people that do the Pashimo or something, it's totally different. So they've got different traditional sounds. Go to the north. When you go to the north, you would see flutes. You'd see a Dabani flute, which is also totally different from a Mampushi or Gonja flute, and how it's being played. When it's found upon something, you had your separate one, but the sound was not the same.
No, but the separate can be said to be a guitar.
For it depends on who's saying it.
A guitar is a thing that you.
The guitar is not the problem. The problem is how it is strong. That is how it is strong. How it is strong.
It's like a drum. It's like a drum. When you put the drums down, even in Ghana here, same drum. We've got different drums for different areas, giving different sounds. Again, these drums, it still will sound like a drum, boom. But the drums of the white man are totally different from your drum.